That's not happening.
This was not a real good interview in my estimation, because it doesn't help the player at all.
Jimmy Haslam just threw his own fifth-round quarterback under the bus faster than a Cleveland winter freezes Lake Erie. The Browns owner literally admitted on camera that if someone told him Friday night they'd draft Shedeur Sanders, he would have laughed them out of the building.
They will know they've forgotten more than I know in terms of their sources, their context.
Stephen A., do you feel like his comments are foul?
Stephen A. Smith isn't having any of this passive-aggressive nonsense, and frankly, neither should you.
If you'd have told me, let's see, we picked him on Saturday, right? Friday night driving home, y'all are going to pick Shedeur, I would say that's not happening.
Breaking down what actually happened here requires understanding the sheer audacity of Haslam's comments. During a press conference that felt more like a public execution, the Browns owner made it crystal clear that drafting Sanders wasn't his idea. Haslam clearly stated to the media that if you ask him, he would say no. The way he said this with enthusiasm is the same as someone describing root canal surgery.
That so much of what happened to Shedeur Sanders at draft day to drop to the 144th pick.
But here's where it gets interesting and infuriating. This is the same owner who personally orchestrated the Deshaun Watson disaster, guaranteeing $230 million to a quarterback who's turned Cleveland into the NFL's biggest punchline. Yet somehow when it comes to a fifth-round pick who actually has talent, suddenly Haslam wants to play the "it wasn't my decision" card.
What was going on with Shedeur Sanders coming into the draft.
Stephen A. Smith saw right through this corporate cowardice and called it exactly what it is: damage control disguised as transparency. Smith's take cuts deeper than Lake Erie in January. He believes Haslam is essentially telling Cleveland fans, "Don't blame me for this one," while simultaneously setting up Andrew Berry as the fall guy if Sanders doesn't pan out.
They try to make it seem with Deshaun like we're all on board. This is our guy.
Think about the twisted logic here for a second. Haslam had no problem taking credit for Watson's massive contract, even though that move has aged worse than milk in a heat wave.
Why are we not saying every quarterback that we have on this field, we want to see, we believe in all of them, we want to see it.
But when it comes to a rookie quarterback who could potentially solve their decade-long quarterback curse, suddenly the owner develops selective memory about his involvement in personnel decisions.
I will proclaim to you on national television that so much of what happened to Shedeur Sanders at draft day.
Smith's conspiracy theory about Sanders' draft fall hits different when you really examine the timeline. The man whom many projected as a top 3 quarterback selection somehow tumbled to pick 144. A fall so dramatic it would make cliff divers jealous.
Those were people that were hell-bent on making sure that Deion Sanders didn't get his way.
According to Smith, this wasn't talent evaluation gone wrong. This was a personal vendetta disguised as a professional assessment.
And they punished his son to punish him. Deion knows it, I know it, anybody with sense know it.
NFL executives reportedly couldn't separate their feelings about Deion Sanders from evaluating his son's actual football ability. Smith claims league insiders were making sure Deion Sanders didn't get into the quarterback position and punished Shedeur to get back at his father. If true, that's not just unprofessional, it's borderline criminal negligence of talent evaluation.
I think we had the right people involved in the conversation. At the end of the day, that's Andrew Berry's call.
Meanwhile, the Browns' organizational dysfunction continues playing out like a soap opera nobody asked to watch. Haslam's comments about having the right people in the conversation raise more red flags than a Chinese parade. Who exactly are these mysterious right people, and why weren't they in the room on Friday night?
They ain't all on the same page with this pick. And when you're not all on the same page with this pick, I've been in enough personnel meetings to know this. Personal biases come into things.
Dom Foxworth's analysis during ESPN's coverage painted an even bleaker picture of Cleveland's internal chaos. He pointed out that when personnel decisions flip overnight like Sanders' draft selection did, it usually means the organization lacks a unified vision. It means the Browns still don't know what they're doing, even after decades of quarterback failures.
I think he made the most of the month away from the team.
What makes this situation particularly maddening is the talent gap between perception and reality. Sanders wasn't just decent in college. The kid was genuinely elite. His completion percentage, touchdown to interception ratio, and ability to perform under pressure all screamed NFL-ready talent. Yet somehow, 31 teams passed on him multiple times.
They want to make it an organic competition, or there are ultimately going to be some people who are saying, I didn't want this guy.
Sanders' uphill battle resonates because it's brutally honest about NFL politics. Rookies drafted late don't get fair opportunities. They get scraps of practice time and then get criticized for not performing miracles. Sanders is already fighting this battle, getting minimal first-team reps, while coaches expect perfection in preseason games. Here's what really grinds my gears about this entire mess. Cleveland has been quarterback starved since Bernie Kosar was throwing touchdowns in the 80s. They've tried everything from draft reaches to expensive free agents to trades for damaged goods. Yet when actual talent falls into their lap at pick 144, the owner acts like someone forced him to eat vegetables.
I think capitalized on it, and now you're starting to see a little bit more confidence in some of the throws he's making.
Recent reports from Brown's training camp tell a completely different story than Haslam's reluctant draft narrative. Sanders has reportedly made significant progress since the rookie minicamp, capitalizing on his month away from the team to master the playbook. Coaches are starting to see the confidence and arm talent that made him special at Colorado.
There was talk in league circles that he started out kind of behind just because of the offense that you're in Colorado.
Albert Breer's insider reporting suggests Sanders initially struggled with Cleveland's offensive system because Colorado ran a simplified college scheme. But rather than using this as another excuse to bury the rookie, Sanders attacked the learning curve like his career depended on it, because it literally does.
If he continues to do that, then it's hopefully going to give him more opportunities to continue growing, which is all anyone can really ask from him.
Training camp observers note that Sanders is making throws that demonstrate genuine NFL-level anticipation and arm strength. He's not just completing safe checkdowns, he's threading balls into tight windows and showing the pocket presence that made him a college star. This isn't rookie luck. This is legitimate development. Before we dive deeper into Sanders' training camp breakthrough, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you'll want notifications on for what's coming next in this story. The plot twists in Sanders' journey are just getting started, and missing the next chapter would be like leaving a thriller movie halfway through.
Bill Musgrave has a personal relationship with Deion Sanders. I mean, it's bizarre to me that there's this conspiracy that the Browns are trying to hold back somebody they took the time to draft, have people with familiarity with both with the father, and just they need any success they can get. Why would they, punish the kid, punish themselves?
Bill Musgrave's personal relationship with Deion Sanders adds another fascinating layer to this drama. The Browns quarterback's coach has direct insight into the Sanders family's approach to football excellence. If anyone can unlock Shedeur's potential despite organizational chaos, it's someone who understands the family's winning mentality.
If one of those rookies has real talent, it changes the entire fortune of the franchise.
Contract negotiations and roster construction become infinitely easier when you have a talented quarterback on a rookie deal. If Sanders develops into even a competent starter, Cleveland suddenly has financial flexibility they haven't enjoyed in years. Compare that to Watson's guaranteed money handcuffing the franchise for the foreseeable future. Defensive coordinators around the league are already studying Sanders' college tape, trying to identify weaknesses they can exploit. But here's what they're finding: a quarterback with legitimate arm talent, excellent pocket awareness, and the mental toughness that comes from playing in hostile road environments throughout the Big 12.
All we can ask for is that he continues to grow in what they're asking him to do, and if he does that, I think he's going to continue to get more opportunities to prove himself, and especially when we get into the preseason.
Preseason games will provide the first real test of Sanders' NFL readiness, but early indications suggest he's handling the transition better than anyone in Cleveland's front office expected. His completion percentage in practice has improved weekly, and coaches are starting to call more complex routes and protection schemes. Comparing Sanders' trajectory to other late-round quarterback successes reveals interesting parallels. Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, and Dak Prescott all dealt with organizational skepticism early in their careers. The difference is those teams eventually recognized talent when they saw it developing.
There's a segment of the fan base that thinks that the Browns are trying to hold them back. They want any answer that is a good NFL quarterback.
Cleveland's fan base deserves better than watching ownership publicly distance themselves from potential solutions to their quarterback problem. Haslam's comments weren't just disrespectful to Sanders, they were insulting to Browns supporters who've endured decades of quarterback mediocrity while remaining loyal. Looking ahead, Sanders' development timeline could accelerate faster than anyone anticipates if he continues showing improvement in practice. Veterans like Joe Flacco won't hold on to starting jobs forever, especially if a younger, more dynamic option demonstrates readiness for meaningful snaps.
I hope the young man gets his opportunity to get on the field one way or another.
Ultimate success in the NFL requires more than just talent. It demands organizational support, coaching development, and opportunities to learn from mistakes. Sanders is getting mixed signals on all three fronts, but his response has been nothing short of professional. Remember this moment when Sanders eventually takes his first NFL snap, because everything we're witnessing now will feel like ancient history once he starts making plays. The kid has talent, determination, and something to prove. Exactly the combination that creates legendary careers.
Couple really nice throws down the field. He's doing what he's supposed to, making the plays, hopefully, that the Browns want him to make.
Expectations are dangerous things in Cleveland, where hope dies faster than dreams in a Rust Belt winter. But Sanders represents something different. Raw talent mixed with elite training and an unshakable belief system instilled by one of football's greatest competitors. His college statistics don't lie. 3,926 yards, 35 touchdowns, and only 4 interceptions in his final season at Colorado. Those aren't fluky numbers, they're consistent excellence under pressure.
By his haters assisted in that happening to him, that resonates with us. That doesn't make you wrong, doggy. I'm simply saying you are entitled to look at it your way, and I'm entitled to look at it my way. And that's
Scouts who actually watch Sanders play, rather than letting personal feelings cloud their judgment, consistently rated his arm talent and decision-making as first-round caliber. The disconnect between talent and draft position rarely gets this extreme without external factors influencing evaluations. Mark my words that Jimmy Haslam's reluctant draft admission will age worse than his Watson contract if Sanders develops into the franchise quarterback Cleveland desperately needs. Sometimes the best decisions are the ones owners claim they didn't want to make. The irony is that the quarterback they never wanted might just become the savior they always needed. Hit the subscribe button to stay updated with the latest quarterback updates.